While doing my preview for the fall 2024 anime season, one show stood out like a sore thumb. Yes, Trillion Game. Why is that? Well, the creator behind Trillion Game is the creator behind Dr. Stone. And since I really like Dr. Stone, I figured I'd really like Trillion Game. And honestly, after watching the first 3 episodes, I really do get a feeling of Dr. Stone here. Not really so much the idea of inventing and creating some crazy stuff in the midst of having nothing, but more so in the idea of trying to overcome the impossible by just sheer will, sheer charisma, pushing yourself into what you believe. Now, while Dr. Stone is all about actually creating logical and scientific items, Trillion Game's more the idea of fake it till you make it, creating nothing in the hopes of achieving trillions. It definitely has the same charisma there, but they're definitely going for different things overall, and that kind of gets into my first impressions of the first 3 episodes. Does this stand up to the success of Dr. Stone, or will this be a case of don't expect this creator is going to create gold every single time? Let's get into it. Trillion Game opens up with Manabu, and Manabu is a programmer. He has spent pretty much all of his life being a programmer, enjoying getting into computers and whatnot. He even saved up all of his life savings when he was a kid, all for one day that he could finally buy a really good computer, before somebody tried to steal it, and then a classmate named Haru showed up, beat up the thugs, and saved his butt. Well, he was caught on camera, and so Manabu, being really good at programming and hacking and whatnot, decides to hack into the cameras and remove that footage of his classmate saving his butt. This is the beginnings of a friendship, so to speak, as Haru, beyond this point, sort of keeps an eye on Manabu. After they end up graduating, Haru believes that Manabu is going to become a great hacker programmer that will be sought after by all the different companies. But unfortunately, after they graduate, nobody's hiring Manabu. He's just not very good at being social. On the opposite end, Haru is really good at communication skills, and this kind of shows that the two of them end up getting interviews at the same location, this Dragon Bank. Manabu goes in there and he fumbles over himself, and all the interviewees are like, wow, this kid's terrible. At the same time, the daughter of the company itself is sitting there going, yeah, you guys aren't looking at his actual skills. Why he's here is because he's probably really skilled, but you're not going to see that. Then Haru comes walking in there, and everybody loves Haru because, again, he's just really good at communicating. He's got all these stories at ready that he's ready to tell them, and it just entertains everybody. They all love him. But again, the daughter of the company, she sees right through it, sees all these lies that he's telling, but still kind of acknowledges how skilled he is. Well, following this, as you expect, Manabu does not get the job, but yes, Haru does. But Haru quickly quits. While Manabu is stuck having to clean the windows outside of the building, Haru ends up quitting the job on the spot and then dropping down next to him as he cleaned the windows to tell him that he quit his job. And the two of them are going to start their own company. They're going to start this business. They're going to go public. They're going to buy. They're going to get a massive mansion. They're going to sleep with TV stars, all to the point where they're going to get $1 trillion and they're going to buy everything. Anything they want, they're going to get $1 trillion and they're going to buy everything. Well, this doesn't look good, of course, because he's drawing out their business plan with the window cleaner by spraying on the window outside the office of the head of the company itself. Anyways, cut forward, the two of them become partners. The focus here from Haru's perspective is to have Manabu be sort of the engine, the heart of the company. As a programmer, typically companies don't pay attention to their engineers. They exploit them, they overwork them, but they never give them credit. Whereas Haru is going to make Manabu the engine, the heart of the company, and the focus on really kind of keeping him comfortable. Even buys him, with all the money they have, a really nice chair to sit in. Haru is just going to be the voice of the company. Well, yes, you'll question, what company are they starting? They don't really have a business plan. The idea here that Haru has is that they just need to find investors. That's all they need. In order to make it big, they just need to find investors. So they seek out to try to find investors, but not banks or anything like that. They try to look for private investors, people that won't even bother to look at their business plan. He made a business plan. He's got this slideshow and everything that he just made up, but he just knows that they're not going to look at that. And he knows full well that his communication skills are perfect. Which does work out. Yes, everybody is delighted when they go to them, saying they have this new company they're going to start up. That yes, Manabu right here is a great programmer, and he's going to make the next big thing. Everybody listens all the way up to the point where he asks for money, and he says 50 million. He does every single time, not 3 million or anything. He does 50 million, and every single time, everybody's like, no, thank you. Bye. We get a little interesting thing here because Manabu the entire time, as all these people they've talked to, all of them are rejecting them, Manabu is feeling down. While at the same time, Haru right next to him is just okay. He's just perfectly fine with being rejected this many times. But it all seems to lead up to, yes, his final goal. The last one that he wants to talk to. The daughter of the president of that bank. She took notice of Haru, and so he figures that he could probably work her. So they go to Dragon Bank. They sit before this daughter, and yes, Haru plays out his plan. He wants to get 50 million from her. She wants to own the two of them because she sees how talented they are. But she doesn't believe that the two of them will work good as partners. She's known many people that are partners, that are friends. Haru is claiming that they're friends, that they're going to stick together till the end. But Haru believes that they're so stupid that if they fail, if they lose a bunch of profits or whatever, they'll still stick together. Haru is convinced that he and Manabu will never separate. And this encourages the daughter. She's like, okay, I'm going to invest in the two of you. Here's 100 million. I'm going to give you 100 million. Manabu's freaking out like, holy crap, this is real money. Haru next to him's like, why would you put it all in a briefcase? You should transfer it digitally. Why would you even bother doing this? She's like, I just wanted to do it once. But Haru quickly sees through this. He says, okay, what's the catch? What is your terms? And that's when they put before them the contract. That yes, she will own 51% of their company. Which yes, anybody that knows investments knows exactly what that means. She owns them. She has a majority share, and thus she can control them. She knows full well that Haru is somebody that is very hard to control, so she wants some way to control him. Where Haru says, yeah, okay, we'll talk to our lawyer and we'll get back to you. And Manabu's freaking out like, wait, you're going to let her own the company? That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. We could do a lot with that money, but you're going to let her own the company. He's like, no, I'm not going to take it. The whole point here was to get her, the daughter of this massive company, this very well-known company, as a possible investor to their company. And sure enough, when the Dragon Bank has this massive hacker convention, like they have this big competition, Haru enlists them into it as a team, and they name it Kirihime, which is the daughter of the president of this bank, offered them $100 million for a 51% stake, accepting other offers. That's the name of their team. And so that gets into them actually doing the competition. Manabu's like, what are you talking about? This is a hacker convention where people from like Google and stuff all compete. I'm one person. I can't do this. So while Manabu is soloing the whole thing, Haru goes out and finds 100 people that he talks to get them all on a Zoom call together to join one single team to help him out. Which that sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Trying to, on the spot, lead a team of 100 people on a Zoom call sounds extremely stupid. But that aside, Dr. Stone Rider just does that sometimes where you're like, I don't think that would work, but sure, it sounds really cool. Anyways, my thoughts on Trillion Game so far. I'm enjoying it. I will say, first and foremost, I'm not a fan of the style. I do like that it's different. It's much more mature looking. Overall, it's a much more mature show. That's kind of a nice plus for the series overall, is that it's like, for once, a story about people that have actually graduated college. This isn't a show about a bunch of kids in middle school or something. For once, we have a show about adults. But yeah, it's got a much more mature look to it, but I'm not a fan of the style itself. It just looks a little bit too kind of muscular, I guess is the best way to put it. The characters look way muscular. It looks Western. It's really what it is. It looks more Western style. And because of that, it doesn't feel like it moves much. The characters barely ever move. Most of the animations seem to be put in Manabu. Manabu being like, oh my gosh, something happened. He's always the one that's kind of the straight man in the center of everything. He constantly has to react to everything being pretty absurd. But putting visuals aside, I really do like what they're doing here so far. Again, it's hard for me not to compare it to Dr. Stone, but it has a similar sense here. You have essentially the main guy here. Well, it's not really the main character. It really does feel like Manabu's is most of the perspective. But our main guy here, Haru, he's like Senku. He's the one that's trying to achieve the impossible, and he's doing crazy stuff with absolute charisma in himself. He has full confidence in himself. Despite the fact that he's failed over and over and over and over again, he keeps pushing. It really does get to the idea of, again, fake it till you make it, or the idea that you'll never win if you never try. That is Haru's character. I really do actually like Haru's character. He's got like a great charisma to himself in trying to push and strive to something and some sort of success. Well, as it does feel like Manabu is sort of the opposite to that, where he does give up quickly. He wants to achieve, Manabu wants to achieve things, but he does get disheartened very quickly. And so the two of them are really counterbalancing each other really well. Again, like I said earlier, Haru is the communicator. He is the one that has the charisma. He knows how to talk. He knows how to manipulate people. He knows how to kind of puppeteer the situation. He presents things, stories and whatnot. He lies like crazy, all for the sake of gaining favor from somebody. Not to say that everybody's dumb. There's a majority of people that will get swept up by what he's presenting them, and eventually he can manipulate them. But it all seems towards a goal. Even in the failures, it seems like it's towards a goal. Like again with Kirihime. Just the sake of having that investment opportunity, he's able to broadcast it out there. Oh, this person wanted to give me $100 million. And in most cases, you're like, wow, that seems like way too much. This is nothing to her. They spend this much on every single employee that they take in, train, and then they leave. This is an investment into these two individuals that she really badly wants. These two fresh faces for her company. But from Haru's perspective, this is opportunity. This at least shows people that we're valuable, and that's all he needed. Now we can flaunt that to everybody and possibly gain more people going, wow, there's a reason why Kirihime would actually want these two people. I want them too. That was the whole goal there. In failure, there's opportunity. And that's really what Haru does. And he does it really well. And that's what, again, kind of makes me kind of interested in the series, and I'm kind of enjoying it, is just from that perspective. Not so much that he pulls success out of his butt. Not that he's got this wall of pictures that he's pinning everything together and making some master plan. It's just simply kind of seeing the value in things and manipulating people in order to achieve that value. Manabu himself, like I said earlier, I kind of struggle with him. He kind of is the over-exaggerator to every situation. He's sort of, again, the common man that's being thrown in the situation that he really shouldn't be in, but he's kind of getting dragged along by Haru. Haru sort of sees himself as worthless. Like with that whole situation of Dragon Bank. He got hired, but he's like, I don't really want to be there. He sort of sees that he has no value himself because he's just a good communicator, while as Manabu, he's the real genius. This is the guy that is really good at hacking and programming and whatnot. He is a smart one. And I guess we're kind of seeing finally Manabu breaking out of that lack of confidence as we get into the third episode. It's like he finally kind of steps forward and starts to really push as they have this big hacker convention. But I'm really more curious to see how he's going to fit into the story going forward. Because initially, when they first made the company, it was this idea of Manabu being the heart and the engine of the company. And it's like, but they have no business plan. He doesn't have like a program he wants to make. He's just going around and getting investors to a fake company. What exactly is Manabu going to do? Is he going to create the next Zoom? Is he going to create this new program? What exactly is Manabu creating? Is he going to be doing anything? It almost feels like the whole hacker convention was sort of handed to them just to make him worth a damn for the story. Like, I'm very curious as what the goal is to have Manabu even present. That does lead me into the kind of funny thing about the series is, again, it is a fake it till you make it kind of concept here, but it almost feels like the writer is sort of making fun of how stupid investments and whatnot are. Like, it's almost looking into private investments and big corporations and kind of showing how stupid all of it is. Again, Haru is literally walking in there with no business plan. He's exploiting all these people for millions of dollars, and they have no value to themselves. They literally have no value to themselves. They're just, again, faking it. Nobody's looking into them. Nobody really has an idea here. Yeah, Kirihime herself acknowledges their skills, but most of the people that are looking at them just look at them face value. So it's almost making a massive statement to just how stupid people throw money around. These big corporations are literally just throwing away money. Now, I'm assuming going forward, they're probably going to be running into a lot more smart people, like people that are actually cautious with their money, that acknowledge what is being done here, like what Haru is doing to them and manipulating them. But I do admit that, yes, my time in the business realm and the higher ups, I acknowledge a lot of people were kind of swayed by somebody that just had charisma. Like, whenever somebody with charisma walked into a room full of people, they captured the room. Like, they just had that thing. They had that it. And so everybody took note of them. Despite the fact that they themselves didn't look like they had much achievement, like they were just kind of fresh into the market, they still had that charisma that somehow grabbed people more than people in the room that had years of experience. That's what Haru does. And I think so far it's really nailing that character. I will say one negative is that very quickly in the second episode, they jump forward and it shows them achieving something, which I kind of wish they didn't. It just kind of takes away a lot of the mystique of the idea, are they going to make it? I mean, the assumption is they're going to eventually make it, but I'm a little bummed out that right from the get-go, we already know what they will end up achieving before they even achieve it. Now, it was to sort of talk about the chair and how important this chair is to him because it was the first chair that he got from Haru, but it's still one of those things of like, don't reveal the ending already? Why are we already showing that where they're going to succeed? There is a nice mixture of comedy in here every now and then. So far, none of it has really worked for me besides like this goofy moment where, again, Kirihime decides to say that she wanted to do this whole thing with a briefcase because she's always wanted to do it. I think the conversations between Kirihime and Haru was great. Like the whole talking in a different language and her saying, do you want to become my pet for the betterment of the company? He's like, no, but I'll let you become my pet for the betterment of your company. It was like this fun little exchange between the two of them, and him writing on the outside of the window right outside of the president's room was really great. But most of the time, it's okay. Like the comedy in this series so far has been okay. A lot of it feels kind of juvenile. Like they had this whole bit where Haru's talking about how great mesh seats are because you can fart and you don't have to worry about getting up to wave it away. It's all about efficiency. There's things like that, but it works in the end. But that's my thoughts on Trillion Game so far. It's solid. I'm not going to say that it's the greatest thing ever yet. It's definitely not to the levels of Dr. Stone for me by far. Like Dr. Stone just, for some reason, just keeps hitting. This one is kind of like, it's building up to that. Like it's got its moments and it's building up to that, but it's definitely not to the levels of Dr. Stone for sure. Plus, I think Dr. Stone overall, the character cast has just charm to all of them. Whereas this one, I don't really feel that charm to really anybody except for maybe Haru, and that's really in his personality. But we'll see where it goes from here. We only got 3 episodes to work for, and I'm looking forward to more. But that's my thoughts on Trillion Game. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know what you think of the series so far if you're going to be checking it out. Additionally, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll be doing first impressions of all the shows of the season, so definitely stay tuned. Additionally, if you like this content and you want to support the channel more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate what it does. Until next time, y'all take care.